Shenhe, and the conqueror of demons.
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it. Okay, fine. Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then...
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault. No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Glad you're okay.
Shower your keep by going.
As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
Oh, okay, Poppy. Ah!
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes, just like the wind.
Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like.
Oh, I had
Oh, speaking
earlier this morning. She said, I noticed she was...
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode.
Sure.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me.
Why was Paimon's big fat head covering Shenhe? Really?
But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that. Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. It's a little difficult to keep track of everything. Oh, is that what it is? Noted. So, you came looking for Master today because you wanted to ask her about the Mystery Adeptus. Is that right?
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music? What is that?
It's... a kind of a happy or relaxing sound. Or, a nerve-wracking sound. Or even a terrifying one.
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us. We won't miss her again.
Yay! That's really helpful. Thanks!
We were just talking about this thing called music. And based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day. Please follow me.
Oh, really?
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything!
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the music of which you speak?
Oh, Paimon wasn't quite done with the description. Okay, fine, it's all Paimon's fault. What we're looking for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
Oh, And a melody is?
Hey! Don't you patronize Paimon! Plenty of nursery rhymes, but Paimon does not sing on demand! Without payment. Hey! Why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yoonjin sang?
Mm-hmm. That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt as I watched Yoonjin's performance when you hummed that melody.
Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like, what about you, Gun?
I know some local folk songs. The songs of the sailors down at the dock. Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of the Nenny and Leo probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with, at least that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the way those melodies make, even though we come in that sense.
You go, Gun!
Yes, technically speaking.
Thank you.
Once the days are, I've planted many.
You are too kind.
Nonsense. I have cultivated and cared. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on the Then, do people say?
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night.
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Master.
Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she. Even after being chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well. If you refuse to learn your lesson, one shall scold you no further. One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, come and find us anytime.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Lantern Rite to you, too.
My queen! Listen to her pop off.
Is this Quaily Plains? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong. Guizhong is another name of Agentis. Long ago, Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be...
Paimon remembers that name.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations. As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Seagazer. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time—
What kind of non—
No kind of non— She always thought it also helped that she— Anyway, who would dare Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup? Then you are most tolerant. But even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation, filling the table with humor and laughter. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time? We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains, until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of them would appear to the eye as a veritable sea of flowers.
Be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's story? Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she, already,
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone, and evoke much sorrow. One should have guessed, no matter. In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetwood Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetwood Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything.
We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline.
What? You have loads of friends.
Just because one is not. But in the end, back when they were rivals, that cleansing bell was.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something.
Streetward Ram. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, as for her old friend, as soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not see that one coming.
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious. Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to our satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back. One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her. Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?
Aw, poor Madame Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might
Precisely.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be—
Oh?
I've been in Liyue Harbor, but this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. They have to keep moving forward. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace this. Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the Harbor of Mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone. but there is always much that can still be. Ping has helped, though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's lantern rite. When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform? Maybe we can even get her up on stage.
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Liyue Harbor is always decorated.
Is not every lantern rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new to discuss? One in Ping could meet any day of the year.
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different.
Very well, then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back. Say, if...
Allow one to take back one's praise for...
What?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time, one is departing in earnest.
Whoa! Madame Ping? And Cloud Retainer?
It appears you made haste.
Oh,
Miss Illuminated...
Said what?
Cuz, you're the one...
Street word. One, given that lantern...
Huh? So... This all... Cloud Retainer and...
let me... What a long time ago that was. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all. After all, although Guizhong... Once upon a time, but as she marveled at... She told us with the smallest and a human...
She always had that her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was... one suspects...
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer, do you still remember that part of...
Of course.
As Guizhong once said, it takes every blade of grass and every flower to make a homeland. When I see the sight of Liyue Harbor before us today...
Madame Ping looks very emotional right now.
Of all...
Liyue Harbor.
Oh, yeah! We've been dying to... Oh, also...
I can make arrangements right away.
Oh, it's been a long time since I played this zither. My fingers don't have the dexterity they once did. And whenever I play that tune, it always... There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was, no matter how much...
So the past still weighs heavily on your heart?
No, I would be lying to my... But that is not to say that... Despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me Just look at this potted plant.
It takes an honest...
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern.
Well,
Granny! Whoa, what's everyone doing here?
Oh,
Oh, that's one. Well, in that case,
happy Lantern Rite. I will leave Mr. DeVore.
huh?
It seems gone news
What a pity.
since it's been so long.
Gladly. This was...
When you next see the font,
you got it, Madam Pig.
thank you all. As for that melody,
Wow, that...
when that time comes, wherever her spirit may be among the...
All right, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Mr. Dvorak! Ah, and Kuchin's here.
Welcome back.
Really, really well. We found the person, Mr. Dvorak.
That certainly explains.
Huh.
I have to say, though,
Oh, Paimon, but Streetward...
Madam Ping possesses vast...
Yep, Kuching summed it up perfect.
I think that can wait until after the concert, though.
Ah, speaking of, Madam Paimon has a...
Wait, are you serious? Oh, no. Okay. Nope. Another rehearsal's in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Before we set off...
Please, share your insights with me.
Music is... like...
It sounds like you had an...
Wait, does that mean you're...
Mm-hmm. As long as everyone enjoys the fest... Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
Whew. Paimon feels like she's... Ah, shoot! Zhang-Li said he wasn't anyway. Ugh.
Da 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 da. Da da da. Oh.
All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight?
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to mention we have several invisible audience members enthusiastically cheering us on. It's the perfect spot to rehearse.
Invisible audience members?
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Shenyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but a giant frog with sharp teeth.
Come on, knock it off.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Shenyan's chords, and Yunjin as our mentor, we'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore! Oh, now Paimon's rhyming along. But when you say flames roaring, are you sure this'll be safe?
No, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage.
Huh. Guess we'll just have...
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those...
It's a real pity that...
Yeah, that's right. To tell the truth.
I can speak to...
And jumps.
Actually, Shenya...
Oh, sure thing.
Oh, travel when you see... You should join us, too. It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from being a funeral director, it's how to throw a party.
It's illuminated deer and illuminated bird number 2. Everything's great, but you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and check it out for yourself.
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks.
Zhongli!
Impeccable. Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow-cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is something of a shortcut.
Wait, that mechanism, is that?
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme cuisine machine.
Can we not just call? She seems to take...
I trust that you found the answer. Excellent. The past should be when the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Oh, Zhongli, Huta told us to tell you something. She said, when she says perform, as for the banquet...
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give Director Who my best wishes for the performance. As for the banquet, since the director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll see you there?
Absolutely.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Thank you. I will examine it right away. The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense. The craftsmanship of this machine is commendable indeed. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, Take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
I'll remind you again. The law can be both a help and a hindrance. Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm